Hello, everybody. I am Patsy Linares, the creative director, founder, and owner of PIL Creative Group, actually the PIL Creative Group. We're starting a whole new video series here at PIL to talk a little bit about what my clients have been through, a little bit of branding, a little bit of creative, and it's going to be called The Cure to Marketing and Creative Ailments. What this series is going to be about branding 101 for small businesses. And I've asked one of my good friends, Antonella, who we developed her logo, to join us. Hi, Antonella.
Hi.
Hi. So Antonella has a small business where I call her Startup Brand. And it's specifically for property management, also specialized in interior design, organization, closet organization to every kind of organization, and she's really a guru of all things positive. She's on this journey where she's developing a brand. She's a little bit ahead. She has a logo, she has a color, but we want to talk to her about what she's going through with her brand and how we can help her and give her some tips. So tell us a little bit about your brand, what you do, and why you chose this path.
So I started a company that does property management. As you know, we live in a very dynamic city, Miami, and it's blossomed, actually boomed in the last 20 years.
Crazy.
10, even as recent as 10 years. We have a lot of influx of international buyers and home renters and second homes. And so there's a lot of properties here that need to be managed. Most people go back to their primary residence. They like to rent out whatever extra properties they have. It's also an income investment in a portfolio.
Absolutely.
It's become a major investment for many families to have multiple housing.
Yeah.
And so what I felt was lacking was like a very personalized somebody that was trustworthy and that could personally go into their homes and be able to
give you the keys.
Yeah,
give you the keys. Take it out.
Receive the people that were coming in. Make sure everything was exactly as they received it. Do inventory. And then check in the next people, or even prepare the home for the buyers or the owners when they were coming back from being away for a while. So it's a lot of concierge and very
I love that word.
Specialized taking care of these owners, and especially as you get to know them, they're all so unique. So you almost know, their temperament or what they like, what they don't like, how they like their home, and so you start, customizing solutions for them and just making things easier.
There's so many levels. Like there was one time there was like a renter that called you because the appliance wasn't working. I mean, it's so many different levels, and there's nobody. And they were in Europe, and so you're the only point of contact.
Yes, there's a lot of that can happen. Things go wrong. Things needs to be fixed.
I had no idea it was so extensive.
There's some houses that are under construction or remodeling, and they want on site somebody that knows the home very well, that could be their feet, eyes and ears on the ground and tell them exactly what's going on. I sometimes send video footage of the work progress as it moves along, and they trust me more than the contractor, because the contractors are they handle so many job sites, but I'm there specifically for them.
So Antonella, we took a few steps with your brand, and one of them is the first steps is to kind of do your corporate identity and your look, which is really your face, your image, your brand. I mean, who you are as a designer and as a creator is essential to ask the right questions. It's like you ask your clients to make them feel, to understand what they want for their property. It's essential for me to ask these questions, like what you do, how do you feel, and some of the questions that we asked was like, I know you wanted a very luxury look, a very very soft colors, a very sophisticated, and that was important to you, like develop more of a high-end kind of property management look, because it's you. I mean, that's the kind of level that you wanted to your clientele. But another second important step besides the logo is looking at the competitive review. What did you think about that? That was that was good, right?
That was very eye-opening, because first of all, I wanted to focus on being an individual versus the companies that are doing property management, because they hire a lot of individuals, then they sort them out and they send out random people. You probably never get the same person following up on the person's home. And so to me, it was important that I was the face image, and it was a sole person that was going to be taking care of the homes.
Yeah, and they felt comfortable. And I think your look also, what we looked at was, and you know, we have it here. We were going crazy. We had like competitive. We had direct competitors in the area, which were very corporate looking. Then we had, you know, because she's very much into fashion, so we looked at fashion brands. We wanted to, because that was part of her personality and persona, was, you know, very fashionable, almost like a hotel collection kind of thing. So, and we did a lot of different series of logos, and I'll put those on the video as
And
well.
then we also played with the last name. So the last name almost translates to palace.
Yes, that was good.
And so it was interesting that we could do a plural version of palaces, you know, having Italian heritage. It was important to bring that in as well, because it's so, to me, it just brings in my youth that has been tied to so much elegance and luxury and just a sense of like comfort and niceness. Like just everything feels so cozy and nice and elegant.
And it's great point because the logo, and I'll display this on when I edit this, is that it's very elegant and sophisticated, but it's not standoffish. Like you feel comfort, you feel like a secure, like it's a secure brand, which is important.
I think the earthy tones that we brought in with the colors was also nice, and I didn't want anything bright or anything that said Miami. Nothing flashy or neon.
Well, we saw with the competitor. I mean, it was like it was all homes, blocky, like just very rough. Like, you know, it wasn't your style at all. So,
and ideally, that's probably the easiest thing to go to and choose. You know, something very corporate. But I knew working with you, you had the techniques to really design something unique
and craft it.
And you know, we came up with a logo that was almost very emblematic and. It was beautiful. It really defined like a European style with a soft palette of earthy tones.
Well, eventually I want you to open your own hotel brand with this. I know it's going to happen. So another thing that I've talked to Antonella about is the emotional element, like how to really bring that out. We kind of pulled it out of her, like what's the emotions of her brand, and you know, again, the tones, the Italian heritage, the elegance. So for her, as she's developing her brand with her clients, is really to speak to the clients, give them a feeling of who she is, because there's a lot of competition here. She's very unique in her sense of style, so I think that's important to express that, and we're going to talk about that with her social media as well. So I think it's like I've said before, people have an innate desire to build relationship and feel closely connected with brands, and that's a great way to do it.
I think one of the ways that we brought in the emotional aspect is when we created the flyer. I brought in a home that was very soothing and elegant. It has this water feature, so the water creates already that essence. So it was important to have a water and then some colors. So I put these bougainvillea hedge that was over a white wall that almost looked like a Greek home, and so that creates like that mood and that elegance and that cleanliness.
Antonella, how much do you like your logo?
It's great. There's like a lot to choose from.
You want to use all the options in different aspects.
We did a lot.
And I know your even property management has turned digital. Real estate is all within digital, different platforms. So there are many ways digital branding can be leveled in terms of like it's a great opportunity for you. And I know you've always thought as, let's say, social media as more of a personal thing, like you put your personal photos, but it's a great way to even the playing field. So you can be in the same playing field in social media as the head of Amazon, or of this vice president, or this head of this hotel chain, or whatever. So they'll see you and they'll see them. So it really evens everything out. So it gives a lot of meaning to brands. And so that's the next step, is building your brand online. And one of the things I recommend highly is your LinkedIn profile. How is your LinkedIn profile?
It exists. It's a good thing it exists. And I do have some information of my property management abroad in Central America. So I do have that posted on there. I just don't have anything current. I have not been able to kind of enhance that. It's just the time and the weight of how to do it. It's just easier sometimes to do a flyer or a logo than to keep something active all the time.
It's almost like your resume, but it's your digital resume, and you can, and like I know you did that education course on home organization in terms of like how the furniture, which is the best way for a home to feel good about walking into your home. What's that called? That thing you did. It's like it's like a home, like you organize your home a certain way, and to like, I don't know if it's feng shui or something like that. They did.
No, I didn't do feng shui, but it's more of aesthetic, kind of decluttering.
But that's, I think that's huge. I need it. So you're coming over. You're coming over next week. So so those are things that she can put on her LinkedIn. Like some of her clients also can promote her on LinkedIn. Any kind of educational seminars that you go to, a book that you read, an article that you see. So understand, it's not just for businesses. It's also a huge way of communicating. They're thinkers, they're entrepreneurs, they're startups. It's pretty much all level, and it's a high end income bracket.
Yeah,
as
there's
well.
a slew of information from all brands, all companies, and all individuals. Really, everybody gets to write or express themselves on LinkedIn, and you know, if you have the time to go through it and read it, I think it's wonderful. I get mostly my ideas from magazines, images.
Yeah.
So I'm very visual.
Yeah.
So that's very important.
And a couple of other ideas are, for example, like I know you like Instagram, but considering Instagram as more like to educate a person in certain aspects of what you do, and understanding how important it is to be trustworthy. I mean, how we can express that in your Instagram. Also, should be a separate. Is your Instagram right now with your personal? It's all together.
No, I have two. I split it into two.
Okay, we did that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Facebook also, I think it's great. You kind of just put whatever's in Instagram into Facebook. You really shouldn't do that. It should be different content. But I mean, it could work. It's just a lot of words. It's a lot of content for Facebook, which is visible. We talked about Twitter. It's very political. It's just too harsh in certain aspects. But again, my biggest thing is advising LinkedIn. As far as articles visible, people you admire, you can put that on as well. Hoteliers that you know, fashion brands that
you definitely said that was your favorite.
That was my favorite. So YouTube is also a great one. As you know, like this video can go on YouTube. Is, you know, when you're in a property, again, you want to be private. You don't want to show like, okay, you're here at somebody's house, but you can show little outlets of what you're doing, or a little bit of this, of how even to organize all these Amazon boxes that you get in that have to wait for somebody to come back from Europe. Like, you know, what's the best way to organize things and things like that. So it's kind of like your commitment to being visible. So strong brands don't go into hiding, they come out into the brand community. So are you ready to do that? You think you're ready?
I think so, as long as you help me.
I'll help you.
You help me, and now that you have your master's, it's going to be even better.
Yeah. So one of the things I told her, she's so good at organizing homes in the physical, is she can organize herself in the digital. Like even just getting a content calendar for what you want to post. I mean, they have them free online, and just start plugging in things, you know, like that might be important, or a great time for spring cleaning, or there's other things.
I come up with great organizational ideas. Like I found these great bins to put your foods, like your pantry foods, and they're airtight. They're super nice and sleek, and they're stackable. They look amazing, and it's just like, you know, little things like that. I forget about it, but then they're so exceptional.
That's great. No, but that's great. But these are things that if you're posting and you're doing things that you love, it's not work. Then it's almost like it's fun to do. Instead of like, I just don't think LinkedIn is like, it's always, hey, you know, a friend or friends, or no, it needs to be more informational, you know. So we can, you know, definitely anything that you can engage them and they can feel you as a brand and understand how much you can help people in terms of the decluttering situation is a problem. I mean, it is a problem for some people, especially if you have ADD or certain aspects. You need to like be able to declutter every so often,
or the attachment to things and objects. So
but it's something that you can give like as an added bonus to your property management level. You know what I mean? Like it's an added thing. So the thing is to be clear messaging, content creation, and consistent effort. And one of the things that Gary Vee, that I always listen to, he's great, you're gonna listen to him, about he's always putting his content, if you're not putting out relevant content in relevant places, you don't exist. So there's a lot of ideas that we can come up with, and a lot of that has to do with your storytelling, which is important, because you're way ahead, and some of our audience and people are looking at this are thinking like, oh my God, I have to start the logo, I have to start this. So you're already have that established. So you're like well ahead. So now it's a great time to really engage your audience and become actionable and give advice and things like that. But so this concludes this 101 branding segment, and we'll continue. I really want to do one on storytelling. That maybe you can help me with that one too, or we can, keep talking and see what other ideas we have and stuff like that. So thank you so much. Thank you, Antonella.
So you left me with a good idea. I'm going to keep a notebook and all these great little ideas that I think I could share, either video or photograph. I'm going to jot them down, and then I'm going to create more content that way.
It's content. It's not like back in the day it was like develop a lot of copy. No, now it's content.
Content.
And you're a great writer. You have the logo, you have the color palette, you have the visuals. That was 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. Now you just need to, again, digital marketing is a whole other aspect of how to organize it. But we can start like with baby steps. And again, like we said, we don't have to post every day, but like maybe once a week, start with that. And so you see the engagement. All right, well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Antonella, again.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.